Well, hey guys, Ed here with Aframe Daydream. Do not forget to like, subscribe to our videos. It does help us out a bunch. Today we are going to take a walk inside the camper to see what it looks like when we're set up. So this ought to be a very interesting experience. I do not think the wife is ready for this one. So, hold on one second, we're going to flip this puppy around. Alright guys, here we go. Let's see who's in here. Oh look, it's a dog. So, come in our door here. And here's our setup. Sure, it looks like she's picked up a little bit. But when the dog gets up there, that's where she sleeps. And of course, she does as she's supposed to. She shows you how that's worked. And then we find her hiding. So we've got our bedroom back here.
It works really well to keep the doggo out.
Yes.
If we leave her in here and we don't shut the curtains, she jumps up on our bed.
Yeah.
And she smells. So, no.
Yep.
Love you, dog, but you smell.
But yeah. And of course, one of the, before we said it in a video before, reflectix, of course you can see no light out that back window.
It's darkness.
So, but,
Lifting this up will make it.
no.
Can you see that?
So yeah, there's the reflectix, just hanging out.
It looks wonky, but who cares? Because it's doing its job. And that's a wonderful thing.
So what do we got in our cabinets? Well, probably a bunch of junk.
Oh, I moved the cups.
Not much. We keep everything minimal. There's kind of just a look in and see what we got going on in there.
Not terribly much.
Our microwave, do we actually use it? Yeah, we use it for storing things, but we have used the microwave.
First meal we cooked in this thing was in the microwave.
Yeah.
Literally.
Then we got down here. More storage.
Yeah, I moved
And more storage.
There is a toaster and a coffee pot in here. Okay, so it's a camp toaster.
The oven?
So don't judge.
Yeah, we use the oven. Bread storage. Oh,
Snacks.
gotta have some snacks.
Pop-Tarts.
No, we just thought we'd take you on a small, quick tour of inside the camper when we're set up.
The shelves make a big difference. Like just having the cabinet shelf with just the little bit of stuff that I can put under and on top of that is ridiculous, necessary. And then the shelf up above. I did hang up the paper towels. That was the purpose for the bungee.
Oh, okay.
And I moved the plastic cups over here because I found a spot for them instead of in the drawer.
But anyways, we
Keep finding places for things.
find place for things, new
we
ideas
need,
to
things
use.
we don't need.
Trying to get this thing a little bit more ready for next summer, of course. Spring, summer.
We're pretty ready.
I think we're ready. The only thing we're not ready for, we're not ready to put this thing away yet. Yeah, you've heard it in many videos. Winter's coming, winterizing. So that's what I say about that. But anyways. Oh,
Once
well.
it's in because, I mean, essentially towing it in our craptacular weather, no fun.
Yeah.
Dry camping we could do, but why? And once we get it in our garage, we kind of pack it in there a little bit. And,
Yeah, you'll see that in about a month. That's going to be consuming our garage. But I'd rather the camper stay in the garage than
it's much happier and safer
than having all the ice and snow on it, especially in Illinois, because we get that really, really frigid cold. And it's not just a dry cold, it's a damp cold, so a lot of you know how that is.
It's highly unpleasant.
Yeah.
Don't
I'd rather
like
be in
it.
the cold in Salt Lake City or maybe Anchorage, Alaska.
I mean, somewhere where it's just not that driving, wet, humid, cold, bone-chilling. Oh, I don't even want to think about it. I want to turn on the heat now. Because, yeah, it's coming and I'm not looking forward to it. Because I don't want to put away the camper.
That's one thing we have not tested in this camper yet was the propane heater. We've been using mostly electric heat when we need it. I really don't want to get into running the propane heater if I don't have to. I know it's there and it's available, but
I think we inadvertently tested it in the driveway.
Yeah, we did.
Just
once.
because we were screwing around with the controls on the thermostat, and we managed to accidentally turn it on, and we're trying to figure out why we were super warm.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, okay, now we know. It was a dirt, but I mean, it works, and it's obviously quite quiet, which I have heard that some of your propane furnaces have a tendency to not be super quiet. This one is apparently freaking silent because we were unaware, other than we were getting pretty toasty. Like I said, we have used just a little electric heater, and it works.
The air conditioner? We used that crap out of this year.
Yeah, the air conditioner has had a workout.
Yeah.
Our generators had a workout.
Generators had that workout this year. We bought one back when we did the build of the
of
our square drop camper. If you guys ever want to see some stuff on that, just let us know in the comments. We will be more than happy to show you some of that. Using that one generator for that 1 year, because we built the camper and we had it 3 years. Then we bought the generator and we used that generator for 2 years, and it worked well for what we needed, because we just had a window mount air conditioner in there. We didn't have much electric in it. We didn't have
we had that thing set up for solar.
Yeah, it was more set up for solar.
I mean, we never really needed any type of overall big electricity until we started our way back the second year we came back from our trip, and I think we hit Iowa.
Yeah, it was Iowa.
And it was about 12 at night, and it felt like we were in a freaking sauna.
Yeah.
We had a great big fan and everything, and we just could not cool it off anywhere to where it was even tolerable to sleep. I think I got a short little nap. The dog couldn't even sleep because it was too hot for her to sleep.
And I wound up staying outside.
Ed stayed outside with we had the magic mesh screen open. We had the windows open, and it was just melty in there, and we couldn't stand it. So we got to thinking, how can we install
an
air conditioner on this thing? And I said, well, we probably don't want it all the time, so maybe we should just do a cutout. And then when we are not using the air conditioner, we take it out and we put the cutout back in its place. And that worked for us wonderfully. It was literally like a little drive-up window. You could serve drinks through it if you didn't want to use your air conditioner or whatever. But it was just big enough to fit a small window mount cooler into. We just shoved it in there and we stayed cool. We tried some other really redneckery things to attempt to stay cool, which didn't really work. And it wasn't until we decided to, break out the saw and cut a hole into the side of the camper and hope that it was the right size hole, which it was.
Good planning.
And, But, and when we sold the camper, we sold the air conditioner with it, because essentially everything that we had with that camper, we sold with it.
Yeah.
I think we yanked the carpet out. In fact, the carpet is currently in this camper. At least most of that carpet is in this camper, what I didn't cut to fit. And it's going to get replaced at the end of the season. So, put a new carpet.
But that square drop camper that we built, it was just on
it did what it needed. It was a bed on wheels and storage.
4x8 Harbor Freight frame. So we built 6 inches out on each side, so that wound up giving us 5x8. It did great for what we needed. We were tired of paying them hotel costs. We were tired of, like, hey, we can't make it to, for example, like Grand Island, and we're in North Platte, Nebraska. And that's just too far to go. If we could have said, let's pull over and just camp in the camper in the square drop time, that would have been great. It would have been cheap. Would have been next to nothing, maybe $40. Not no $120.
And in truth, if we ever would have needed to like pull into a rest area, I don't think anybody could have given us much grief for climbing into the back of the box if we kept it hitched. They really couldn't have said much. So, I mean, this thing, they could probably grieve on us for popping it up because it would be kind of camping, but yeah.
I call that really not really camping, because camping you're going to be setting up. Setting up.
That we didn't set up. I mean, the only thing that we changed in that when we were not traveling is we took the solar panel off the bed and put it in the back of the truck where the dog was. If we were carrying the telescope, same. Because those were the two things that we would put on the bed that we obviously couldn't sleep with and couldn't fit under the bed.
But picture me on a 4x8 Harbor frame, then it turns into like a 5x8. Then you get 3 humans in there. Well, not 3, sorry. I'm including the dog as a human.
The dog's oftentimes more human than we are.
So you get 2 adults and a dog.
And a fuzzy human.
It's kind of hard to sleep in that.
It was tight.
The first year was great because when we built it, we didn't have to take her out. We actually had a babysitter when we went out the first year. The second year, we didn't really have a choice. So it was tight, but we did well.
We made it work.
And it was that year, I think, when we were on our way out there or back, we decided we're going to start looking into what we got here. So, well worth it.
We stumbled onto one in Nebraska when we were on our way out on our maiden voyage across country with the box, and somebody spotted us and we spotted them, and we all kind of went, ooh. They thought they were smaller than anyone else until they saw us roll in, and we were intrigued at their little A-frame. So everybody, we had show and tell, and we were impressed, and they knew that they couldn't shrink down any smaller than they already were, but and they had a really small A-frame model. I don't remember what it was. I believe it was an A-liner, but it was a real small one, and it was just a couple with a smallish dog. And they had it set up comfortably, but it was tight. I mean, it straight up was tight. And with us, this is just enough room for us to do what we have to do. We're not bumping into each other much. We do once in a while. It's like, it just depends on what if we're screwing around or whatever. But like when cooking is occurring, there's plenty of room for that. It's just enough for us. We don't need any more space than this. So we came to that conclusion as to what we needed space-wise, and this was the good fit. And the fact that we found it when we did, we had money when we found it, it's like, hooray, everything just kind of, the stars aligned. That particular time, and hooked us up with a really nice camper.
The one thing I'd like to use that we haven't gotten to use yet in this is the Dinette seating area. Unfortunately, yes. Fortunately, it's the dog bed. Because we don't have the dog sleeping with us anymore like we did in the square drop, because when that dog would sleep, it would take up the room.
Yeah, it would take up the whole bed. It would go all sideways and whatnot, and anybody would move and it's like,
Oh yeah.
it was pretty much a battle royale until everybody was comfortable again, and then you might get a little more sleep. But yeah, pain in the fur.
Yeah, it was worth the upgrade.
We like it.
I think we'll probably have this for, I don't know,
A long time.
a while.
We'll
We're gonna use this for a while.
We'll keep her happy and healthy and
Would we like to
in good
upgrade?
shape.
Sure, but it's not the right time. Not the right time.
This is an upgrade. What are you talking about?
Well, I meant
From
to
what
something
we
bigger.
from what we had, okay, we went from tenting, and I'm not just talking tiny little dinky tents, although those exist, but we went from tenting with a cot, without a cot, with an air mattress, with a variety of just mats. I've tried everything to sleep comfortably at night. This is probably the most comfortable bed I've slept in a camper. It's super comfy. It's not.
Yeah.
It's nothing super fancy. I'm pretty sure it's just a futon mattress, but it's super comfy. The worst part is if I roll every once in a while, I'll crash into a wall, but it's rare. Like, for as rowdy as I have a tendency to sleep, it's pretty rare for me to even crash into a wall. So maybe I'm just used to my surroundings.
Yeah.
But last night when we were sleeping, or when I was trying to sleep, I heard an owl making a bunch of racket, and it finally shut up. I went to sleep. I wake up, I reach over, there's no one over here. So I hop up, I see it outside. I say, "Hey," and he goes, "You might want to go to the bathroom now before the rain comes." All right. So we tool on down to the restroom, come on back, and no kidding, we got back in bed, and it opened up. There was thunder, there was lightning, there was rain.
Good
But
news was
it
we had a
was,
sleeping dog.
we had a nice, comfortably cozy dog. She was super chill. She didn't care. So
If you know our dog, she hates thunderstorms.
she usually yells at them.
So
At
she
least
didn't care.
it wasn't a really loud one. The thunder wasn't really close. It was just, it got a little bit rumbly. The
Sorry.
sun came out.
I had to look outside because I thought I was just seeing stuff.
The sun came out.
We haven't had sun for a couple days.
It's a sucker hole.
So I think when that sun comes out, it's probably going to rain in about 2 minutes. No, we just wanted to sit down and just shoot the baloney with you guys.
Shoot it.
We'll kind of keep it clean on the language.
Somebody was shooting some kind of pretty high power firearm.
We must not be far
down
from
that way. There must be a firing range because
Yeah.
somebody was definitely going through some ammo.
They must got some money
That's all I could figure.
and a FOID card, of course.
Yes.
Yeah, that's Illinois for you.
Yes. But they were definitely blasting some ammo out there and having a good old time.
Yeah, if you don't know what a FOID card is, it's called a Fire Identification Owner's.
It is a firearms owner's ID.
Yeah, owner identification. There's not many states that have that. This
Only
happens to be
Illinois.
one. I think there's another state. I'm not sure, but correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Yeah, Illinois has weird laws all the way around. But anyways, we're not going to get on Illinois laws. Except for, hey, Illinois has some okay places to camp, but they're not like out west. They're not like Tennessee area, North Carolina area, Great Smoky Mountains. Love to go there. I would love to go there.
Mm-hmm.
I know she would love to go there too. Maybe eventually.
Okay.
Sure, we'd love to go to Florida.
Yeah.
We haven't been down there.
I've never been to Florida.
So,
I've
could
never
happen.
been to Florida.
Could happen. There's a lot of stuff to do in between now and then. So, maybe we could get to Florida. Who knows?
Be cool.
Maybe we can get to Great Smoky Mountains. That'd be even cooler.
On the way? Is it on the
Well,
way?
yeah.
Oh, then it's a trip. It's a plan.
We can make it on the way. We have everything else that we
We
went.
haven't. Yeah, it's like, what's kind
We
of
go
on
to
the way?
Utah, but
What's
yeah,
kind of on the way? Okay, that was on the way-ish.
Mount Rushmore is kind of on the way to Utah, right?
Not
No.
really. But
But
it's
we
all
did
right.
it. We enjoyed it. I mean,
Yeah, we've been known to take a really ridiculous detour.
the 80 trip is horrible, always.
We went to Idaho one time for a concert, which was a blast, and that was literally a detour. We like hit northern part of Utah and just kind of cut up into Idaho, and I'm going, hello Utah, hello Idaho, okay, we'll be back to Utah in a few days.
Yeah.
And yeah, then we ended up in Utah, but we had to go to a concert first, so
It was worth it.
it was
It was fun.
fun concert.
And that's still when we had the square drop. You know, that one we actually chose to stay at a hotel for that because we knew we're gonna have a lot of fun at the concert at this was it a 2 day or no, it was
Just
an all day.
It was an all-day concert.
So
and
it was the best thing that we did.
Actually, that was the year before we did the square drop. It was that following year.
Yes.
The following year we made the square drop because when we went to Salt Lake, we'd seen one of our friends had made a really nice teardrop, and then we went the following year and another friend made a really nice teardrop. And I'm telling you, there's some artistry in that stuff. Ours was functionality, not a ton of artistry. It was like, okay, what color is it going to be? I don't know. What color of paint have we got? Alrighty, that's the color it's going to be.
Battleship gray.
Battleship gray, and that's what it was.
With aluminum trim.
And yeah, I mean, it wasn't a beautiful thing, but it was a beautiful thing because
the inside was probably
it was nice on the
better
inside
than you would think.
Yeah, it was nice on the inside.
By looking at it on the outside.
We carpeted the two side walls because we wanted some insulation.
And it left some heat in there.
It kept the heat in. It kept the cool in. We did actual insulation on the front to the back on the top as well. There was no insulation on the bottom, except for we put carpet down, just regular old carpet. We had some rubber mats towards the door so that when you stepped off the bed, there was about maybe a foot-ish of space for you to flip your feet off the bed before you like crawled out the door. And so we had rubber mats at the door so that it was a little bit better transition out the door.
Crawled out the door, she says. Yeah.
It was
only 4 feet high.
It was a crawl out the door. It was a small.
Try getting dressed in a 4-foot space.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Not easy. Lay down and just dress. That's about what we did. Yeah, we made it work. You know, then getting this, we did pick up this at the right time.
Oh, yeah.
Before all this stuff hit with
before everything got shorted. Yeah, I mean, I'm wondering.
Now it's crazy.
I wonder.
In the RV market.
I really wonder if the people we picked this up from are having sadness that they no longer have a camper because they hadn't decided what they wanted to get.
I'm sure they got months.
Their daughters were looking at something ridiculously huge, and they were looking at something a little more affordable. But I mean, honestly, if the RV market continues the way it continues, then there better be more campgrounds popping up.
Yeah.
Because it's sometimes very challenging to find a spot. Now, granted, when we took our trip out to Salt Lake this year, we made some reservations. I think we're going to stop doing that because some of the places that we've landed at by accident have been great.
Yeah.
And doing the seat of the pants trips sounds crazy and stuff, but sometimes they work out better because when you drop money on a reservation and you can't make it,
You lose
That's money you're out. You still got to pay to stay somewhere tonight. And we've had it happen at least once every single year.
Yeah, this year it happened. Hey,
This
it
year
wasn't
it
all that
happened.
bad.
This year it happened. We made a reservation, and there was just no way we could make it. There were a lot of weird situations that came about. We just could not make it to that reservation, and there was no way we were going to get there. And honestly, the place where we did get to, we stayed the night. It was a great place. Had a ball there. And when we got back on the freeway, there was construction from where we stayed to where we would have been staying for about 20 miles.
Yeah.
And nasty. Single lane, cones for miles and miles, icky construction. And that would have been the tail end at night for us.
Yeah, when
no
we
fun.
did get to that campground, we learned that just a couple hours before the highway was shut down because there was a bad accident in the construction zone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's
not something you want to deal with. Not
that
at
would have
all.
held us up just even as much.
Further.
You know, so I think moving forward, you know, when we're booking campgrounds, yeah,
it's an hour out.
We
we'll
got certain ones.
We have some that we won't go to. We have some
no matter what. No matter what, because we know we're going to hit that day. And that's like in the middle of the trip. We'll book it no matter what. We'll book in February to hit a July date or a June date. Because
they fill up.
Yeah, we want that spot. We stayed there before. We know what it's like. You know, you got to be on top of them. You know, when you're out there trying to find a camp spot. But you know, unfortunately, when you're on the road.
It's hard.
We've found out it's a lot easier to pick up the phone about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. You got any openings? You know, about 2 hours down the road. That works out a lot better for us because we know we can drive another 2 more hours to 7 o'clock.
Yeah, the place we stayed in Rollins was
great. We hit another one. You know, on the way out, we stayed at a campground with Sleepy Hollow.
Sleepy Hollow.
Never stayed at it before in our lives in Iowa, and
that place was cool.
Past it many times.
Place was cool too. They had silhouettes of Bigfoot here and there, and they were. That seemed to be kind of the theme for our trip this last year. Was like we kept running into the Bigfoot silhouettes everywhere. It was really funny. It's like, well, I guess we're gonna go see Bigfoot this trip.
Didn't see him.
We didn't see him. We saw his silhouette. So, you know,
but yeah,
he's around, but we didn't actually see him.
There's another reason. Sometimes it's not a good thing to book prior when you're like going to be on the road.
Because you find those little gold mines.
You find the gold mines. You're possibly going to hit some construction. Gosh knows if you're going to have possibly a blowout on a tire of any kind. But we found it. Yeah, you're going to waste some money. You know, I mean, like in our case, for example, we were in Rockport, and I said, oh yeah, we should be able to make it down here to Rock Springs, Wyoming, and be able to stay there.
No.
By the time we left Rockport, we were behind. It happens. It just happens. It's a common thing. You know, you try to get out of the places at a certain time, and it doesn't happen. You get caught up with talking to people. You haven't seen them for a while. But when we landed where we landed in Wyoming, it was great. Yeah, we lost that $42, $46 to KOA, but hey, KOA actually does some pretty cool things out there. You know, we were just watching a show the other day. They were talking about the KOA in California.
Somewhere in California where they bring in the refugees from all the fires.
You know,
and they've done this on the yearly, and they'll pretty much tell everybody who has a reservation, your reservation's been canceled because somebody else needs it more than you.
Yeah.
And I think
I get it.
That's pretty bad.
That's pretty cool. That is really cool.
Hey, it was a slur. It was a minor.
But, no. I mean, anyways, guys, we're kind of getting bleh here. Just thought we'd just sit down and say hi for a while. I'm sure that you guys have missed us because we haven't said anything for 2-3 weeks.
It's been a while.
ever since the Gabby Petito thing. That's horrible. We didn't feel right releasing any kind of videos during then because of just all that media attention and people just had so much to say about it. It's horrible that that happened. Um, Hope he does get caught. If anybody catches him, maybe Dog the Bounty Hunter will catch him. He seemed to have caught a lot of people in his life.
Go bounty hunter.
So, all right, well, guys, other than that, until then, we will catch you later. Have a good one.
Ciao.